on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great start to your week. Good Monday night here because, well, we got some birds to talk about. And yes, the joint practices were a little late today. So as I told you, the video is probably going to be around 8 o'clock. So here we are, 8:01, talking some birds. Now we're going to talk about all the tweets that were made, all the videos that I was able to gather, made into a nice little clip for you so you don't have to watch me trying to go back and forth through those videos. So we'll actually just start this bad boy off with those highlights. Then we're going to talk about what Sean Desai had to say before practice, look at what happened during practice, and then we'll talk about what Jordan Davis, Desai, Reddick, Joshua had to say. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get this party started by, well, taking a gander at our birds. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, you get to see yourselves a little bit of what went down at the joint practices today. A.J. Brown going up and getting one. Devontae Smith breaking ankles. I tossed those on the shorts there if you want to go check those out on YouTube. But excitement in the air, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go over what happened today. My man Drew in here. Let's effing go. Yo, Lee. Let's effing go, birds. Appreciate you tuning in, my man. But he sure did put him on skates. Dude. Denzel actually ended up leaving practice at one point. So looks like Denzel Ward was getting some work done to him there with Devontae Smith. Wow, he is just fantastic. I love that young man. Still can't believe we have him on our team. And A.J. Brown, yeah, I'm pretty pumped up. So let's talk about what Sean Desai had to say before the practice, and then we'll get into what happened in practice. Vacation, yo, hope you're enjoying yourself. Nice to see you, my dude. And go birds. So that's what it's all about. You know, I love to see it. You know, I've been doing my part to get everybody on board the past few years. It has been a tough one, but it hurts. You know, I'm still getting some comments here and there. It's like, look, man, just leave it alone. Get behind the young man. Let's ride. He is him. It's all right. You didn't know what you were talking about. Let's ride. Jalen Hurts is him. Enough. Holy crap. I mean, Jesus, at this point, you know what I mean? But I love that, and that's what I'm here for, man. Guys like you. For all the fans out there, you diehards, you sickos, that's what I'm here for. I am so tired of the negativity. It's like, look, bro, get on board. Don't miss the train because I swear you'll be wearing an Eagles jersey in a couple weeks. You'll be the biggest fan. You know what I mean? It's like, holy, whiny little fans. It's like, bro, I promise you, this team is about to do some work, but I hope you're having a great vacation, my dude. Appreciate you taking the time on your vacation. Hopefully you're propped back, having yourself a little sip on something, a little smoke on something, whatever you're up to. Hope you're enjoying time with the family. Whatever you're doing, I don't care. I hope you're having a great time doing it. But my man, look, Drew in here, you guys all taking all these vacations. Summer's about over, so I love to see you getting it in. I got myself a nice one, and ever since I've been back, crazy work has been here. So dear God, help us all, but trying to get through all these training camps and practices while I have no damn Ethernet, anything. So bear with me as we get through this. But let's talk about what Sean Desai had to say before practice got started. Took a couple notes on this one, but talked about Ben Van Sumeren, who he was asked about first. Talked about him being new to the position of linebacker. He's come a long way. DJ Elliott really helping him out, the linebackers coach. But he said he's doing a good job. And, you know, he has to be thrown into the fire. We need to see what he's got if he wants to get a job here. And now he's got another opportunity with Sean Bradley on IR. He talked about Jack and Zach being here, getting their feet wet. They've been around the league for a long time, though. And he talked about how he just continues to help this team, you know, advance where they need to. So if they need more help somewhere, They want another linebacker, another safety. All you guys ask about that stuff. We've got the cap space and we've got the time. We've got a few weeks here. And we've talked about last year. August 30th is when we got CJ Gardner-Johnson. So stay patient. If we need something, we'll go get it. But we talked about just testing things out right now, not just the fundamentals, but you have to rely on your training. Talked about Rick's getting back into the lab, keep on working. But he loved his excitement, but you really got to tone that stuff down. Don't want to get a taunting penalty. Don't want to jeopardize the team. Talked about backup nose tackle they had asked him about. You focus on training techniques. Tracy Rocker's been a huge help. How much depth they have in just cross-training these guys. And we talked about that, the versatility of these interior defensive linemen. They can move all over the place. And, you could say that for a lot of positions. But, we signed one today when we placed Sean Bradley. Go check that video out from earlier if you want. Olive Sagapulo, I want to say. So, but yeah, a nose tackle, a big guy. So another guy to push Ellis and Davis. So you've got some different molds here, but all these guys need to be versatile here. I talked about Nolan in his first game, a lot of emotions. The preseason is for fixing things, though. And Nolan had his ups and downs. He had some things I really liked, but he had some things that was like, oh, this dude definitely needs some work, and it's perfectly fine. He's behind Reddick. He's behind Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham's there. They're all going to help him. He's part of a rotation. He's not relied upon to be thrown into the fire. Perfectly fine here. He is part of the deepest edge rusher group. And then the interior D-line, the deepest interior D-line in the league. So they're all going to be able to feast, and I'm not worried about it at all. Then he talked about no decisions for a few weeks. You don't need to decide where people are playing, who's starting, all that stuff. That's what this time period is for. The questions they ask, man. But joint practice, they like it a lot because you get to see different things. This is why we talk about the excitement here, because you get your starters out there, and it's situational football. People are going to read into interceptions or touchdowns or whatever, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it may be. But you have to take it all with a grain of salt. And a lot of time, these joint practices are perfect because you get situational football. He talked about all the vets being leaders in different ways. The D is in. It's about 95 to 98%, with everyone getting on board with it, and just the techniques and fundamentals. And we've talked about that. I'll post that video down in the comments. If you've missed that one, breaking down this defense, go check it out. Excitement to be had. I'm telling you, they're breaking this effing sack record. They're going to be number one against the pass again this season. They're going to be even better. I promise you. I know a lot of people hate this style of defense. I'm telling you, they will be on board with this. And then he talked about the Browns, how they try to get him. Great organization, whatever. Thankfully, they went with Jim Schwartz there because we got Sean Desai. Yeah, let's effing go. But now I would like to jump into this practice. So let's take a gander at how things went down during this joint practice. They were only allowed to take videos for a little bit there. So 11 on 11, 11 on 11, and 7 on 7s. They did not get video for that. So we are just going to go through the tweets here. Covey, Johnson, and Watkins were out of practice today. Good to see Deion Kane was back in a limited capacity. He needs to get out there and prove that he's got something if he wants to even make this practice squad. So good for him. But those other guys, a little concerning for Covey and Patrick Johnson, both fighting for jobs there. Quez, wants to prove that he is that number 3. But again, I think it's 3A, 3B for him and Alameda that both bring different things to the table. I'm excited about it. Now let's get into it. Joseph Nada coming out here and, the second most playing time of a receiver, and only had 1 catch. And he had a couple mistakes I didn't like, but I really still like this kid a lot. I was glad to see, everybody talking about him last couple weeks. Look, this kid, he's got the great size that we talked about, but he was undrafted for a reason. He needs some development here, so hopefully we can stash him on that practice squad. We shall see, but had a nice one-on-one rep, and like to see that build on that young man. N'Kobe Dean with a nice pass breakup on Deshaun Watson, so he's back out there. Love that. Being precautious, not playing our starters during the first preseason game totally makes sense, especially considering he was out of practice. So I saw a lot of the media. I don't know why he wasn't out there. I thought it was pretty clear to me why he wasn't out there during the preseason game. Now, Jalen effing hurts him. The newly signed to the Jordan brand. Oh, my Lord, that video had me ready to run through an effing wall. He is him. Think about how far we've come since last year. Get developed, no arm. And now people are bowing to this man. Number 1 jersey sales. I mean, this dude's just doing big things. And he goes out here today in joint practices, throwing some dimes to Alameda and Goddard. But let's, again, take this all with a grain of salt, because up next he does throw himself an interception to Denzel Ward. And look, again, take this all with a grain of salt. However people want to take this. Oh, we threw it for touchdown. Oh, we threw it for interception. Either way, cool. This is practice. You're working on things. You see what you like from that play. You see what you didn't. Maybe he didn't like something on the touchdown. Maybe there were things he did like from that interception, but he wants to change a couple things. So that's what this is for. People will take it and run. Good for them. Now, up next, we got Reed Blankenship. And this dude obviously did not suit up preseason. He is the one starter who will be starting next to him, but he gets himself a nice pick after Zach Cunningham tips the ball, almost intercepted it himself. And I believe this was the play where Jalen Carter caused some disruption, but I've got that one in the chamber. You're going to hear about him here at the end. Up next, Christian Ellis out here starting with Nakobe Dean at linebacker. And you've got Reed Blankenship and Edmonds as the first team starters. Kayvon did sub in at one point. So intriguing to see that keeps popping up there. Will it be Ellis or Morrow? Will it be Edmonds, Wallace, Brown maybe at safety next to Reed? So we'll continue keeping our eyes on those positions there. Now, Jordan Mailata, we talked about looking forward to going against Myles Garrett. And he said nobody looks forward to it. And we've talked about this. Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in the damn league. That's my opinion, but I really feel that it's the truth. But he definitely had his fair share of good plays against Mailata today. So you hope that this is a teaching moment. Talked about Mailata getting to work with him before, asking him questions. I'm sure he asked him a lot today. So you just hope that iron sharpens iron. Hope everything's all right with Myles Garrett. He ended up having to leave practice. But, you kind of like when there's bad things happen, you kind of take it as a good thing. Hey, man, this is a chance for me to learn from this. So I know Mailata is that kind of guy, and I'm hoping that he takes this day and makes the most of it. Now, Kenny Gainwell in with the ones again, and we've talked about this. 1A, 1B, he and Swift don't give a damn what you want to call it, but Gainwell came in, then Swift right after. So that's what you're going to see in these games. Then you'll see Rashad Penny spelling at times, not as much, but this 1-2 punch is going to be nasty, and I cannot wait. Now, up next, you have Tyree Cleveland, who had himself a game. He played the most snaps out of the wide receivers this past preseason game, but he comes out, gets a nice ball from Mariota, then ends up getting another nice catch. So having a strong day after having a strong preseason, that's great. And we've talked about this. He's got return capability. He did it before. Don't know that the Eagles want to try him there, but maybe you give him a shot to show that he brings versatility, can help you in multiple areas because, hey, if he could get placed on the practice squad, you can elevate him for certain games. That's what happened with Covey last year for the first couple of weeks. Then he was, signed to the active roster. So you got to make the most of your opportunities, and Tyree Cleveland is doing that. Up next, we got that back we mentioned for a brief second there, and a good all-around day for all of the backs, but Rashad Penny out there whooping some ass, and we talked about what a surprise it was to see him playing that deep into the game. I thought he would play just because he's new to the system, but hey, they're really trying to give opportunity to the other guys, for that third, fourth spot. So Boston Scott, Penny, Sermon, they're all going to be battling out. I mean, Brooks is there, but not so sure he wins the job. But look, I think that, Penny, if he stays healthy, he adds that dimension, as that third back, that this makes one of the top three, in my opinion, running back corps in the league. Now, Devontae Smith, you saw that clip of him, as Drew said, putting Denzel Ward on skates. I guess I won't make jokes about breaking ankles because mine's destroyed right now. So Devontae Smith just got a deep ball from Jalen Hurts over the Browns defense for a touchdown. And this was multiple times that I was hearing his damn name, seeing his name popping up there. And he just continued to do work on the Browns defense. And there were a couple times that I think he was open and maybe just a missed throw, whatever it was, but he just kept doing work. Love to see it. I think Mike Ford had a pass breakup on him. At one point, there was for a touchdown. So keep doing your thing, Devontae. You know how I feel about Devontae, one of the best and going to be a Hall of Famer. Now, Josh Sweat, a little bit of a scare there. He took a knee, slow to get up. He was a little dizzy, apparently, but he gets the sack on Deshaun Watson not even 10 minutes later. So, good to go there. Love to see that. So gets right back out there, gets a sack. Let's go. Now, one of my pre-draft darlings, Sidney Brown. Still can't believe we got him. He was getting some reps with the first team today, and oh yeah, that gets me excited. Now, Evans was in there, Edmonds, Kayvon, they're all getting their chances like we talked about. But Sidney, finally getting some time there. Love to see that. And I've told you, I think this dude has a huge, huge path ahead of him, bright future where he's just going to shine. He's going to do plenty of things for this defense. I just think there's so much, and we've talked about that. And I can't stress enough how excited I am for him. Now, another scare here. Landon Dickerson walked off with the trainer into the medical tent. Sounds like after practice, he was standing around talking with people. Everything was good to go. So thank the Lord. It sounds he is all right. But when he went out of practice, Josh Sills is the one who stepped in. And we talked about this. I think this dude's already a lock. He would have been a lock if things weren't going down there with him. But happy for him. Hope he continues to shine. Got a lot of playing time in preseason, trying to get up to speed with everything. Love that. Think he'll be a good, versatile piece of depth to this offensive line. Now, we had mentioned Olamide earlier with a nice catch from Hurts, but he was also getting some work as a return man. We talked about that. Want to see him back there. Want to see, obviously Ward's getting work there, but some of these other guys given an opportunity, especially in game times, these joint practices, whatever, but it's like, come on, damn it. I mean, cool. You want to put Trey Sermon and Zach McPherson, but it's like, okay, are you actually going to use these guys? And I guess that's the question, but it's like, damn, I thought some of these other people with experience you'd put ahead of them, but hey, let them do their thing. Now, up next, we got a little interesting tidbit here. James Bradbury getting a little bit of work in the slot. We've talked about this. This dude can play wherever, left, right, in the middle. I love his game. Man, zone, he can do it all. So this defense, we're talking about versatility, the multiple schemes you're going to use. Again, I'll post that video in the comments, but you're going to see all kinds of crazy stuff with people playing multiple positions. So very excited to see that. Then you've got Reddick and Smith both separately sacking Deshaun Watson. And we've talked about these two, a mini Hassan Reddick here. And we actually got to hear from Hassan. He talked a little bit about him. I'll talk about that here shortly. But Nolan Smith, just keep doing your thing, young man. And I think you've got a very bright future. But they're both getting themselves some there. Now, I'd mentioned Zach McPherson. That's good for him, getting punt return work, seeing what he can add. We know he can play inside, outside, something we've talked about for years now, why he adds value. Now adding that return capability, okay. But look, really didn't do much, and Ward was out, and everybody else was out, so maybe it was just kind of emergency. Who knows? But anyways, he was playing gunner. He helps on special teams there too, so that's huge for him. Looks like he's going to definitely make this roster, be the backup to Avonte Maddox, and he can play, again, all over. Love that. And keep doing your thing, young man. Love to see it. Now, another scare right here at the end, but another situation where Jason Kelce at the end of practice was talking with everyone, seems to be perfectly fine, as it says here. So do not fear. It seems that Kelce and Dickerson are fine. If they don't partake and, or maybe they're just limited in tomorrow's joint practice, don't let the media get you. It is really, you want to be precautious during this time period. You don't want to be, trying to kill your own players here, put them on the line and get them hurt. So we'll see. But probably be precautious tomorrow would be my guess. Now, you ended things up with Derek Barnett getting a sack. Look, keep doing your thing. If you want to be edge rusher 5, that's fine. You're clearly way down on the depth chart, but if your former first-round pick is your edge rusher 5, let's go. Now, I saved this one for last, and you'll see why, because it was all over the effing place. Last one, but you got all of the rest. So, Jalen Carter getting first-team reps. Then Jalen Carter, Brandon Graham get a sack. Then Jalen Carter, you see, lined up with the ones, pushed the blocker, side wrapped up, the running back. Next play, nearly sacks Deshaun Watson. Probably a sack for Jalen Carter, bore down in a hurry on Watson. Looks like the Browns fumbled, and Jalen Carter recovered. Yeah, again, you remember pre-draft when I just kept talking about, generational talent. I understand Bijan. I get it. I get that, people wanted him. I get that. I do. But Jalen Carter is a freak of nature and a game wrecker, and you will all see what I mean. And, well, you did on preseason, his first snap. So it's exactly what I meant, pre-draft process, why you have to get him. We have him with Jordan Davis, Milton Williams, Fletcher Cox. That's the nastiest interior in the league. Who you want to keep his depth is up to you. But, I'm pretty excited. And, I'd mentioned one of those guys, and we're going to hear about him and a couple of the edge rushers. But let me check on these comments here, and then we're going to run through and talk about what these guys had to say on their press conferences. So let me jump back over here. Getting into the Devontae Smith, Kelly Green. That's going to be beautiful. I think I'm going to get a Nolan Smith, Kelly Green, because I like to get Smiths anytime. they have them. So I have a Devontae Smith midnight green. I'm going to need that Kelly green. I think I'm going with Nolan. So love it, Robert. Ooh, it has been tough trying to find a Hurts one for me, though. If anybody finds it, you want to get it, I will pay you. Oh, my God, it kills me. I'll be in Philly in a week here. So I'm going to try to see at the Pro Shop while I'm there for my draft. Please, God, have a Jalen Hurts jersey. Hey, Eagles Pro Shop, why don't you just get one in stock? I'll be there next Monday at the link, taking live videos for you guys, making you a part of my live fantasy draft. So I'm going to be locked in, though, as well. So it's not going to be like the whole time or anything crazy like that, but I'm going to give you some clips, things like that. But to show you what it's like to be at the link when there's no one there with the lights off and like they got green lights on the field. It looks awesome, dude. But I'll show you. And it's the only time I ever get to hang out in suites. So pretty sweet. Any idea what Matt Petrarca? Yeah, we've known since the moment he was hired. He is an assistant to the defense. You can go check that video out under the playlist, coaching search and coaching, all that stuff. But that breaks down his role and everybody else's. Happy Monday to you, Liz. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're having yourself a great start to your week. We're here. We're talking about the joint practice today. Well, I showed you the highlights, and I'll show them again at the end here. But some excitement in the air. But, of course, take it all with a grain of salt. We're just trying to learn some things. And he's been on the field, and he will be on the field whether he's a starter or not. We've talked about it. I mean, when we talk about before the draft why I wanted him in this defense, it's because of the fact that he's so versatile. You can line him up at 3 safety sets, a dime linebacker, or a dime, back, a nickel backer. He can do it all. So, yeah, I'm pretty effing excited that he's here, and you'll be seeing him. Dude, that sucks. Oh, man, that really sucks. I'm hot as hell today. It is hot here, but nowhere close to that. So stay cool, my dude. Good to hear he's good because I was sweating. Yeah, man, I do not like to hear any injuries. So Kelce, Dickerson, glad they're all right myself. Go effing Birds, my man E-Money. Appreciate you tuning in. And, yeah, Justin Evans has always been a hard hitter, my man. That one hit he had was definitely a nice one. Still working, but just saying hi. Oh, I appreciate you even tuning in while you're working. Love that. And if you do rewatch, I always look forward to seeing your comments afterwards because, I put a lot of work into these and then it's over. After like 20 minutes, half hour, I'm like, oh, man. And then I'm always making like multiple videos a day, so it just gets crushed through. But if you guys ever rewatch these, you're ever, you want to talk about something in that video, please feel free. I'm always down to talk some birds. And there was like 90 comments here today, so I am trying to get back to everybody on all the shorts and the videos and everything and the posts. I appreciate you all. If I missed any of you, don't worry. I will get to you, but there have literally been insane amounts. And, hey, getting a bunch of haters here, and that's good. You want that, and we appreciate your fear. We can smell it from here. What's going on, my man Bird Gang? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Get that shmoney. Oh, you know it. Get it, Liz. We're all about it here. Love to see the love being shared here. And, yeah, man, you don't want injuries. Sorry, this thing's kind of lagging. But, yeah, indeed. But, yes, we were just talking about that. My man, he sure is. And I really can't believe we got so many of the guys that I talked about this pre-draft process. Again, I'm literally just going to start mapping out this year. Who do you guys want? We're going to make a show where you guys just tell me who you want me to put in the Miss Cleo ball, and we're just going to go get them next year because this train ain't stopping, man. I cannot believe we have all these players. Like, dude, this is insane. And Donnie, I hope you're doing well. I'm ready to go through walls. Just seeing this team, a fumble recovery, 2 sacks, doing things like that. I agree. This is the reason you guys saw the live reaction of me losing my mind. That's a short clip. If you watch the whole live video, which is also on my YouTube, I run around, go outside. I lose my mind. I was pretty ecstatic about that pick. You guys know how adamant I was about drafting him. So let's go, baby. Let's go. But the fact of the matter is he's going to be playing next to another monster that I did the same thing last year, asking for Jordan Davis. And, yeah, we got him too. So pretty excited about it. But we talked to him today, and he had some things to say. So we talked about it, having open communication. They asked him about Fletcher Cox, how helpful he is. But he talks about all of the D linemen being helpful to each other. Talked about, having a good practice. This is the best time of year going up against a good team like the Browns. This is what you want. Getting close to football, baby. 27 days away from game 1. Let's go. Talk about the 4-man fronts he's been working in. I don't know why the media is surprised. I wish they would watch my shows instead of just taking the pictures and not listening because this kid's going to play in 4-man fronts, but you've got rotational pieces that he doesn't necessarily have to. But if on the fly you need to change these schemes, they need to watch that defensive video and understand it. That's something he's going to do and has done since, as he said, high school and in Georgia. So whatever, they'll figure it out. But he's working on it, just different terminology. And we talk about that. I mean, that video, I try to break it down the best I could. But, he talked about the difference this year. He has a lot of confidence. There's no doubt in himself. And he said you could see it on the tape. And they just kept prying, like, what do you mean you didn't believe in yourself? What do you do? And it's like, oh, my God, dude. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, just like, you're a reporter. At one point, you were a first-year guy. And he's like, and I'm sure you were nervous. And it's like they try to come at these little kids so much. And they just need to put me in those rooms and things I swear would be much different. But that is what it is. So he keeps talking, and he talks about no surprise with Jalen Carter. They asked about him. I mean, he loves the kid. He's helping these young guys. He talked about that, being there for the rookies. Sky is the limit for all these young men, and we know that. We got Georgia dogs on this defense. Dude, last year we talked about Davis, Dean. We get them. We talk about Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, and we get them. And it's like, oh, these are defensive guys from the Georgia championship team that are going to come and change the effing game for us. So I hope there's more excitement as the days go by. All you sickos that have been tuning in for months, it's hilarious. You guys see it. Like, the media starts talking about things we've been talking about for months. It's like, we know. Yeah, let's go. We're waiting. And we're all dying inside. It's like, I appreciate you telling me what I know. But if you guys can figure that out a little sooner, we'd all be more excited. But the media, they like to get people worked up, and it's good for them. Now, Sweat had mentioned how he was dizzy, but he also brought up communication, something that's big on this team. Always communicating, being on the same page. Love that, man. This is a brotherhood here. But he talked about Jordan Davis, how confident he is. They asked him, like, oh, he said he was confident. And, like, I'm telling you, they're like little trolls. And he's like, yeah, you can see it. And it's just, oh, my God. But becoming a more vocal leader himself, he talked about getting out of his shell. Just at first, just kind of a quiet guy, but now, just opening up, knowing that guys need him to be there. So love that. And then he just talked about, they asked him what one player was, stood out to him. And he said, Milton Williams. He's a dog. And he sure is. He's got that chip, reminds him of himself. And you guys know I have Milton Williams locked in as one of my starters, and I don't care how people feel about that. They're going to have to learn that we run odd fronts. And look, I'll show you the graphic that gets people upset, but it's like, look, dude, I'm just telling you what they're doing and have done the past few years, and this defensive coordinator does the same thing. So here's what a 5-man front would look like, and there's the depth behind them. And I mean, you could switch in whoever the hell you want there. This is from a couple months ago, but you get the gist of it. And then you see and I've talked about this with this is the offensive line, get a little ahead of myself, clicking stuff, but that offensive line now. You could see the defense here in a 4-man front still. It's like, okay. And again, rotations. No one cares who's in. You're going to feast. So I'm pretty effing excited about this, whether it's odd or even. But media, even the Eagles communication team, I wish they would learn like what positions these guys play and what they can do, because that would get people excited if they knew what was going on. So it's like, I'm just trying to do my best to spread the word. And if you guys missed it, I'll show you that in depth chart form. So I know some of you like it in different ways. So try to show you as best I can. But this is what I'm talking about with the 5-man fronts. You'll see 12 starters here. So that's to show you what it looks like with 5-man starts. So if it's just a 4-man front, you take out one of those D tackles, nose tackle, whatever. And then you see the nickel corner. That's why I have him down there. So you can understand you're going to see a lot of both of those things. Go watch the defensive video that I'm going to post in the comments. It is loaded with information about why you're going to see those things, why I talk about them extensively the last few months here. So you see the defense. Anybody in green is new to the roster this year, but man, I'm excited about this team, and I hope other people get on board, because I know I got a lot of slack for believing in Jalen Hurts and, for Howie Roseman and this defense. But, being the #1 defense last year, it's like I hope people will see that that's a good thing. And I hope we can build on that with a better defensive coordinator running the same schemes. I know people are always coming at me for it, but it's like, dude, this is the defense. Vic Fangio, that style, this is it, man. And I think that you're going to see a much better run defense with Sean Desai here. So I hope that other people get on board with that too, just like with Jalen Hurts. So let's go to the last person, Hassan Reddick. He talked about the energy from the starters, having it, a chance today to play. They don't play in the preseason much. So, that's why I talk about loving these joint practices more than I do, half the time with preseason, because you get to see things from the starters. So talked about that. He talked about in preseason, the young guys. He was excited for them, just watching them, watching how much they've progressed. He enjoyed that. Talked about Jalen Carter, just the way he moves, how fluid he is, light on his feet, his jab. And he compared him a little bit later then to Javon Hargrave. But I'm telling you, he's going to be way better than Javon Hargrave. He can actually stop the run. Now you talk about Nolan Smith. They asked him about Mini Hassan. He mentions a little bit later how he loves that nickname, but he's a sponge. He continues to learn. He's always asking questions, and he really is a little Hassan, and hopefully he can learn to, dominate like him, and together they're going to do special things. Then he talked about you just can't double this defensive line. Nobody on this line can be double teamed. So the depth on here is crazy. He knows it. We know it. I'm telling you, they're breaking the sack record. Let's go. I heard a lot of talk about how the Eagles needed Yannick Ngakoue desperately this offseason. I couldn't disagree more. I think that this is going to be the best pass rush group in the NFL, and they don't need to add anybody. Now, Bradley, Sean Bradley on IR talked about him being a warrior, knows him from Temple. So it's unfortunate, wishes him the best of luck, but he knows he is going to fight. They asked him about one guy on this team. He talked about DeAndre Swift, how electrifying he is, just watching him. And we've been talking about that for months, what he's going to add to this passing attack, not just the rushing attack. So let's effing go there. And he talked about don't want to let Philly down, the energy. The first time at the link, it was crazy for him. But then DeAndre Swift's first time, just how wild it was at that open practice. And they don't want to let us down, man. These guys being from Temple. And, I think that this is going to be a special year for a lot of these dudes. And they all have like chips on their shoulders for certain reasons. And I love every second of it. He's going to be pretty special in this offense. Then he talked about never being content. Keep working. That's the mindset he has. Give it your all every day. Head down one step in front of the other. 1 foot is what he meant, but no doubt. So, look, dude, I can't stress enough how much, these veterans are going to help these young men. We've talked about this over and over again. I just think that we're building a dynasty because not only are you going to win the Super Bowl this year, you're going to continue to do so and dominate the NFL for the next 5 to 10 years. And, it all depends on people staying healthy and all this, I know. But guess what? Howie Roseman has set us up in place much better than any other team that we can truly dominate the NFL, and I'm going to stick to it. So let's effing go. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Trotter's kid. He is definitely somebody I will be hoping we get. Yo, my man Twisted in here. I think I just answered. I thought I did. Catch a replay. Yo, appreciate you, my man. And hopefully none of them got away. Don't want to have to be chasing any animals because, broke my ankle last time I did that. So appreciate you, my dude. Hope you're doing well. So let's effing go. And yeah, man, I'm trying to get everyone on board with this dynasty talk. And they will soon enough. I can promise you they will be repeating that. Just like every year, we talk about what people will be repeating. Jalen Hurts last year and making it to the Super Bowl this year. Talking about this defense and winning the Super Bowl, building a dynasty. Telling you it's going to be a special, special year. Cannot wait. So we'll see. But that's all I've got for me from the practice, the press conference notes, all that stuff. I'm going to get heading out here. But if you have any final thoughts, anything you want to get in here, let's go. If you watch this afterwards or you're not content, you want to talk some more, when I'm done, come on back, comment, and we'll talk some birds when I see it. Let's effing go, Tiffany. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope you're doing well. It really is. This is a brotherhood. They're all learning. They're growing together. And it's going to be special things that you see. And, now that the fan base is finally behind Jalen Hurts, I think things are going to go much different. When you have your home crowd going against you every game, that was tough last couple of years. So last year we started winning. Everybody's getting on board. It's like, look how far we went. Let's imagine when we're all the good juju out there, everybody's on board, everybody wearing a Jalen Hurts jersey now. This is going to be a special year, and I promise you, dude, just like I said last year when I told you, they're all going to be buying his jerseys. These mother effers are lined up at 4 a.m. Let's go. Miss Cleo. Let them keep doubting, baby. I'm going to keep trouting. I don't even know what that means, but let's go. Reddick's going to smash. Now, I don't know if he'll have 20 just due to the fact that so many guys are going to feast. So I'm all about it, though, my man. Let's go. Lil, my dude. Appreciate you, dude. Hope you're having a great night. And Jalen, we trust indeed. Hope you're all having yourselves a good one, though. I'm rolling out. But again, if you want to talk more birds, just leave that comment down below. But that's all I've got for you this evening. If you got anything from this, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. You can always subscribe and all the retweet and everything else you're doing, dude. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. So, look, baby, it's Dynasty season. Welcome aboard, everyone. It's time to ride. And I've seen a lot of new fans jumping in, trying to learn who the players are, things like that. If you ever need to know what's going on or who a player, whatever it is, man, I've got videos on everything. I will direct you. Just let me know. Always here to help you understand why the Eagles are winning the Super Bowl and why they're building a dynasty. I'll keep saying it until everyone's repeating it. Let's effing go. But until next time, and I will be back tomorrow around the same time doing the same damn thing for the day 2 of joint practices with the Browns. But if anything crazy happens in between that time, we sign anyone, do anything, I will definitely make a video about it. But you can go check that video out from earlier. You want to check out the guy we signed, Olave Sagapulo, I think it was. Let's go. But whatever's on your mind, there's Birds content. If you're fiending for it, go get it. But I will be back tomorrow. Until then, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. I hope you all have yourselves a great week. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!